Well, we've had Budget 2016, and we have two people here who are experts in development, in enterprise development from Standard Bank, Eldon Pillay and Diale Mukhajwa. And I'd like to hear from them what they think the budget has actually offered. I hope, gentlemen, that you did manage to at least catch the budget speech to some degree.
Yes, we did. Sort of as we were just mentioning earlier, we quite aligned to the thinking around specifically supplier development, enterprise development within not just a supply chain, within a value chain of a business. I mean, we try to facilitate on the customer side as well as on the supply side, and I mean, Diale specifically puts together a structured type of solution that looks at facilitating capital for those small businesses that are benefiting from supply development programs. And typically where we find the gap is in the financing of those things. So we find guys have been given these procurement opportunities. They've been given sort of assistance in terms of technical skills and that type of thing, but they can't access this funding on a traditional basis. I don't know, maybe you want to talk about the...
Yeah, so what we provide is a bespoke solution to enable the suppliers to fulfill on their contractual obligations. So the opportunity here sits within the corporate value chain where they will provide a market, but the suppliers then do not have the capital. And even if the corporate could provide some capital to a certain extent, it's not enough and it's not scalable.
This is exactly what it seems that government is actually proposing, but I mean, have they done enough in this budget? I was just glancing through it and I didn't see, to my mind, that they'd actually given sufficient incentive to yourselves or to anyone who's doing this sort of thing. Do you think so, or do you disagree?
Well, I think government has done enough from a legislative point of view to create an environment. However, it's corporate South Africa that needs to take that and execute it. So in other words, government can only do so much in terms of policy framework and legislation. But I think business must take the lead in terms of executing, within the specified framework. So from that point of view, I would say, yes, they've provided a necessary framework. And we've seen now in terms of the new B codes that the emphasis is on supply and enterprise development, which actually has created a new market. Mm-hmm. And this new market...
So that's the real incentive. It's a market that it's opening up for us.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a market that we couldn't really tap into. Mm. So the incentive for us is to be sort of creative or innovative in how we be able to tap into that market within that sort of what did you call it, an enabling framework?
Yes, an enabling framework. And if you look at traditional lending requirements, we move out of those traditional parameters in a sense that we view these entrepreneurs from the basis of the contract that they have. So if we can predict how the cash flow of those contracts is going to play out, then we are in a position to structure the deal according to that cash flow. So that enables us to lend into the businesses that we would otherwise in the normal course not would have been able to.
And how long have you been, how long has this program been in operation? And how many?
So we started building it about 18 to 20, almost 2 years ago, we started building it. And we towards the middle of last year,
we started rolling
it out in full force. So probably we've been actively rolling it out and actively in business for maybe 6 to 8 months now. And in that time, I mean, just to give you a sense, we're looking primarily at financing smaller businesses with in bank speak, non-vanilla lending solutions. and we've probably done about, 6 months, about 400 to 400 and some odd million.
Yeah.
If my numbers are right, in approvals.
What sort of feedback have you had from ministries and from government generally?
So what we've been doing is we haven't been widely sort of publicizing and talking about it, because I mean we're a bank, so we took a little bit of a cautious approach to say let's do this thing in the microcosm first. Let's see if it's actually working first before we start going and punting it as a solution that can work sort of. So we haven't widely gone to various ministries, whether it's a small business ministry or DTI or that type of thing, to say this is what we're doing and we're fantastic. We wanted to make sure it works first, and I think to go. We're basically running this thing for the last 8 months. It would have been a little bit too presumptuous to go beforehand, that before we can have some sort of empirical data. Where we have dealt with government departments is we have dealt with some of the state-owned enterprises, as it were, where they are looking to support local smaller black suppliers into their supply chain, and we've had quite a bit of success where we've been able to support some of these smaller suppliers to become sort of commercially viable, sustainable, and to provide a quality of things. So we have been touching them, but we haven't. I mean, again, it would be very preemptive to go out and after 8 months or before that to go and say we've got the answer. We want to be a little bit more conservative. We think we have the answer, but.
Yeah. In addition to that, we push government in different ways, in a sense that the SMEs that have been awarded, contracts by government, we've been able to finance, and it's not just government; it's government and corporates. So we finance, contractors that are building low-cost housing. As an example, we provide a full solution for those contractors in terms of access to capital. And across the different ministries, we finance the SMEs. So the intention is that we do the business first, prove the success of it, and then we can go and engage with the level of data behind us in terms of what are the key points that makes these transactions to work, and where are the risks. Where can we and government work perhaps better together in terms of knowing, and predicting when the deals are getting done? Because quite often you find that these deals come late to us when the guy has been running around looking for finance, and we've had, a couple of instances where they've gone to DFIs and everywhere and they can't access finance, and they came to us and we were able to meet their requirements. So these are all the lessons that we've learned through the process, and we'll continue to learn these lessons this year, and perhaps look at engaging government
towards the middle of this year, towards the end of the year, sustainable business.
Well, this sounds extremely interesting, gentlemen, and I suppose perhaps by November next year we should speak to you when medium term comes around and you've had more than a year's experience, and you'll be able to tell us more about it. I thank you very much indeed. That's Eldon Pillay and Diale Mkhojwa. I take it I should say Reali Bokhala, and thank you very much indeed, gentlemen.
Thank you. Cheers.